finished. Probably we were 3 with definitions. We have to get on rule number 4. Very good. Now, we saw the first factors all the way up to 3. Now, how do you prevent fire and explosion? Now, we'll start breaking up from there. What we had done earlier, like, objectives and how will you get it and all. So now we are coming to prevention of fire and explosion. Probability of ignition. How do you reduce probability of ignition? Because after ignition only combustible materials or flammable liquids will catch fire. First thing is control leakages of flammable liquids. So there is no fuel to burn. So means shall be provided to control leaks of flammable liquids. Next is means shall be provided to limit accumulation of flammable vapors. You see, if you are producing flammable vapors and they are dispersed, you don't have sufficient volume to catch fire. Here, what we are going to do is means shall be provided to limit accumulation. That means we will not allow it to accumulate. We will find a system by which we can release the flammable vapors in safe manner. Now that is what on tankers you will find this, that on tankers they have got a system which will release it at a certain height, mass riser, and then at a minimum velocity of 30 meters per second. Okay. Ignitability of the combustible material shall be restricted. That means you do not get anything which has got low ignition points, temperatures. Otherwise, for example, on ships, we don't use petrol. We never use petrol because the flash point is below and it is liable to catch fire somewhere. We don't use, and what we use is earlier days, once in a while, kerosene and all, but that also has disappeared now. Kerosene, or you pick up diesel oil, the same diesel oil what you are using on board, gas oil or something, to heat up something. But now I don't think anybody is going to do it. Now you use the acetylene oxygen combination to heat up. So you don't need the small burners. Then ignition sources. All the sources you restricted as much as possible. Odd one will have to be there, but you restrict it. You realize this wording which is used, this is like more legal wording. Restricted, it doesn't say stop it completely. Cannot be there. No, it is only thing restricted. Like means shall be provided. Okay, this is a provision. Here restricted, use is restricted, but not banned. So just remember the language. You will find more of these words than saying something is banned completely. Banned means there is nothing like discussion on it. Ignition sources shall be separated from combustible material and liquid. That means this is what we also do during Diwali. You go for firecrackers, you carry them in a big plastic bag or something, and then you have got a candle which you have to burn, and from there you are going to take your ignition source and light up your firework. So what you do is you don't keep your candle close by to the firecrackers. You keep it away so that accidentally you will not set fire to the whole lot of firecrackers. That is exactly what we are looking. Ignition source shall be separated from combustible materials and flammable liquids. Atmosphere in cargo, huh? Okay. Atmosphere in cargo tank shall be maintained out of explosive range. Now, what is explosive range? LFL, the 1 point, that is, it is too lean mixture which cannot explode. Other one is too rich. So in between whatever the range is there, that is explosive range. So one way or the other, you shall not maintain anything in the explosive range. You will be either too lean or too rich, one of the two. Now, what happens is oil, oil, fuel, lubricant oil, other flammable oils. Means technically everything can catch fire if you allow enough things there, heat. So we put first thing is limitation in the use of oils as fuel, because whatever happens, a flash point if it is less. Now see, a flash point of less than 60 degrees will not be used. No oil fuel with a flash point of less than 60 degrees shall be used. That means why 60 is, at times we do get into temperatures. World record might be some 50 plus degrees plus, but we get into 45 and on. And it is possible that odd spots might reach the 60 degrees. That is the reason 60, somehow they have agreed and say less than that. Now, in spite of that, there are ships which run on certain fuel oils which are less than this, but that is, they have to prove that they are safe. Yeah, correct, Pujasha. No, when we carry cargo, it is a different story. This is the oil which ship is going to use, fuel oil. We are talking about fuel oil. When we come to cargo, it is a different arrangement, because you may be carrying like aviation fuel, petrol is carried, isn't it? So then that special arrangements are made for volatile ones. Here we are using the 60 degrees Celsius as volatile point. Now, some ships have been using crude oil as a fuel oil. Some ships were mixing crude oil with it, because in the end what everybody wants to run it cheap. What happened was sludge is available, right? And after cleaning, tank cleaning and all. So why don't you burn it along with mix karke burn karo? Some design engine to run directly on crude oil because it was working out cheaper, but that is something to do with designing of engines. Only emergency generators, you bring down the flash point to 43 degrees. That is because they run on gas oils, emergency generators. And they are allowing certain concession, you can bring it down. Because, as the flash point goes higher, it becomes difficult to start engines. Once they start, then they will manage everything. But to start engines, that is why emergency generators, which are normally off, only when something goes wrong, they come on. So they will be from cold condition, they will have cold start. That is why it is up to 43 degrees is permitted. Location of fuel oil systems. See, take it in principle now, because every line is not that important for you. What is the whole thing? Fuel system. The important point is where the fuel gets heated up and the pressure increases, because finally you want to atomize it in the cylinder. That is where you will pass the energy. Shall not be, the whole system shall not be placed in a concealed position, because knowing engineering issues, we know that anything can go wrong. The defect can be there or leakage can happen. So they are put in such a way that in case there are any defects or leakages, you can see it immediately. So it is not isolated somewhere. It is in the public eye. And remember, in machinery spaces is adequately illuminated, because the idea is In case something goes wrong before the fire starts, we must know it. You detect it, you will immediately take action, you will switch off everything, take precautions, clean up things, and you will have no fire. But suppose you miss it out, then there can be a very bad issue straight away. That is why even you remember the service and settling tanks when we did it. You can see all the sides clearly. It is never attached to the ship's body. There are separate tanks which are put, which you can see from all the sides. Then ventilation. There is always, when engine is on, ventilation is always on. So it prevents accumulation of oil vapors, if any. Under normal circumstances, you should not have any oil vapors anyway, because whole thing is a closed loop, closed circuit. In case leak is there, it will still remove the this oil vapors so that there will be no accumulation. There is a constant ventilation. One important thing, fuel oil or any one of the oils which can catch fire are never loaded in 4-peak tank. Reason is 4-peak tank is in front of collision bulkhead. In case of any accident, the oil will catch fire. That is how we are looking. Now don't mix up. This is not about pollution part. This is about catching fire, because when two metal bodies are going to bang with each other, there will be sparks and other things. And if you have got oil there, it will catch fire. And that will be in, means after having accident, you have got another disaster of fire. That is why it is never permitted. Now, oil fuel pipes, if damaged, would allow oil to escape from any one of the tanks. And if it is situated above double bottom, means they will be normally. Anyway, now they are not allowed in double bottom fuel anyway. Shall be fitted with a cork or valve directly on the tank, capable of being closed from safe position. This is talking about quick closing valves. Yeah, you can store. Some some doubt is there. Where we can store? Yes, you can store after the collision bulkhead. But nowadays, what is happening is you have to have a separate tanks. Even I don't have clear thing how they have started doing it, because you need space which is away from cargo, or there should be a good separation between cargo space and the fuel oil tank. Since you can't put it in double bottom, you have to create some space, and that will be independent one. And of course, right now everybody is coming. We already have ship operating on battery. Big ship. I'm not talking small samples, but already in Norway it is on. Of course, close run they have got, but it is like chargeable ship, like you go in port, you are charged by the time, and it's autonomous ship. Means again, there is nobody on board. Okay, this quick closing valve, we are clear. This is what we are talking about. 2.2.3.4 is about quick closing valves. This is the safe and efficient means of ascertaining the amount of fuel oil in any fuel tank shall be provided. Means you have got gauge glass, you have got a remote ones and all. If safe mean must be there. And we generally do not permit the glass gauge on this unless you prove that it is as strong as metal and all. So generally there are various arrangements which will show the fuel oil content in any fuel oil tank. Basically fuel gauges. They work on pneumatic pressure. Sounding pipes shall not terminate. Terminate means the other end of the sounding pipe. One is in the tank and other end is there somewhere from where you open the cap and lower the sounding tank. So they shall not terminate in any place where risk of ignition of spillage may arise. especially they do not terminate in passenger and crew spaces. Now this is very interesting because these changes are coming over the time. As a cadet, when I was on board, we had fuel oil tank uh, sounding pipe inside accommodation, but it is no longer permitted. So they never in crew spaces and passengers, means accommodation inside, they cannot be there. They are always outside if you have got sounding pipes. And we assume that there can be overflow from sounding pipe. Reason being, when you are taking fuel oil, it comes with pressure. If there is a mistake made by somebody, the tank which you are supposed to load 98%, little slip of here and there will be overflow. Overflow will be from air pipes, but air pipes are higher than the sounding pipe. If the sounding pipe is open, most likely it may be, or something, it can leak from there also. This is the reason. And another thing, even if you have got say 98% and something more, and when you start heating the fuel oil, there is expansion. That also can become overflow. This is the reason we do not terminate in any place where there is a risk of ignition is there from spillage. External high pressure fuel delivery lines between the fuel pump and the fuel injectors. They are like steel pipes, because what is the idea? You pressurize the oil to send it to fuel injector, where according to timing it will spray inside the cylinder and it will fire, and that is how the energy will be there. Now what happens is, fuel pump is not next to engine, it is at some distance, and then there is one fuel pump which is providing, maybe you have got 9 cylinders, whatever number of cylinders you have got. So there is pipeline. That pipeline, we can expect, even though we do testing and all, there is always a probability, metal fatigue, anything, and line can fail by bursting. So a jacketed one, what happens is, it is like this is the pipe. I put a jacket on top, okay? Now in case anything breaks here, the oil will spray out, but the jacket part will hold it and drain it in a particular place. So immediately the collection of leakage and an alarm will start that there is a problem. This is where the oil has come. It shouldn't be there. So whole intention is, any probabilities you have to think about everything going bad. किसने चालू किया माइक्रोफोन? समर बंद करो माइक्रोफोन. Okay. Fuel pipelines you will not locate immediately above or near high temperatures, because like exhaust, when engine is using energy, they can't use 100%. Most of this internal combustion engine, they go between 30 and 40% of efficiency in terms of energy. So exhaust gas temperatures are 400 degrees. That is why anything like that, you make sure that fuel oil lines will not be close by to any one of the heated places. Then high temperature surfaces. Now you have got some areas where there is a temperature is high, like exhaust side of the engine. There is a lot of high temperature. So that high temperature can become a source of ignition. So you insulate those pipes. Anything which gets heated up, they are insulated. So that from outside may be able to touch and feel the warmth, but you will never burn your fingers. If you're, sorry, if you have got daily service oil fuel tanks, there are two tanks, service tank, settling tank. Settling tank is the first step when the oil comes to engine room, allow it to settle, remove from bottom the water, and then it goes to purifier. From purifier it comes to service tank. Now service tank is heated. So you have to have means, and especially, what happens, service tanks are operated automatically from settling tank. That if, when the capacity is there, like I will say 24 hours, say. Now 4 घंटा चल गया तो उतना oil कम हो गया. So it automatically draws and puts it there, following all the process. In that case, if it is automatic, means shall be provided to prevent overflow, because if it overflows, there will be problem, because then it will be hot oil and the ignition will be around somewhere. Now, purifiers, where they heat the oil as well as there are a couple of things they do with it. So they generally have a separate area isolated, means, if required, you can close the area. It is a separate area. Even if not close also, then you will find something like one area location where the purifiers are, so that you can monitor them better, and in case of any problem, you can extinguish or cool them down or whatever you need to do. And if you have got heating arrangement, which will be there, a high temperature alarm will be provided. If the flash point of the fuel oil exceeds, that is, here we are looking settling tanks and service tanks. Now settling tank, if you start heating it up, because what happens, the seawater temperature may be only 10 degrees. So you have to heat up oil before you pump it to settling tank. And then you have to keep it hot, otherwise the whole purifier, all the system may not work correctly. You need a liquid. It can freeze quite a lot, or it will become very viscous and you will not be able to use. So wherever you have got heating, you must have high temperature alarm as a logical rule. Now gaseous fuel for domestic purposes, it is like, on you can say cargo ships, ferry ships, and Japanese were very fond of carrying the gas cylinders on board, and they used to cook on gas. But it was removed long back. So just remember, in case you have the gas cylinder, they should be on open deck or well ventilated space. And that space must open to the open deck. So basically you ensure that even leakages from there, the vapors will not accumulate. Electric radiators, if fixed, they will be fixed, means not portable types. It comes there, nut and bolts will be there, it is fixed in a location, and then they don't have, means, these open elements and all are not there on ships. If there are any heaters, they are temperature controlled with the purpose of only warming up the thing, not to superheat it. So they will never even reach 100, because another rule is you should not get burns or scalds from it. So generally, if they are there, temperature may be just around 40 degrees maximum, and they keep it warm, the cabins and all. Normally you won't see it. Now this is something you have to know, open or portable heaters are permitted on the ship. Waste receptacle, as usual, non-combustible material means typical metal one, but no openings. See, what we see, waste paper baskets at home, the plastic ones, with that like net. You throw something, you can say, uske andar kuch hai. They are not permitted because we expect any garbage or anything you put waste, it may have oily contents and it might leak. So they are all proper dabbas with no openings anywhere. Cargo areas where they should be. Cargo pump rooms, cargo tank, slope tank, cofferdam shall be positioned forward of machinery spaces. However, oil fuel bunker tanks need not be forward of machinery spaces. Why? Because there can be more confusion. Your fuel oil also is in front. But what they are permitting here, that both the things are separated. The machinery space is separated from all the cargo activities. That is why cargo pump room, cargo tanks, slop tanks and cofferdam. So cofferdam is next to the engine room bulkhead. Cargo tank, slop tank shall be isolated from machinery space by cofferdam. That means cargo tanks and slop tank bulkhead, vertical bulkhead, shall never be shared with engine room. Okay. Now what happens is this by cofferdams, fine. Now argument always comes, अरे ठीक है हम नहीं रखेंगे, but what happens, my space is getting wasted. So you are allowed to have cargo pump room there. Now that is exactly what happens. You have got fuel oil, cargo tanks here, then the separation is there from machinery space by cofferdam. So in that cofferdam, you make the pump room so that one side from the machinery space, you can get the shafts coming this side and your pumps will be here and the drivers will be on other side. Or whatever way, but that is where you transfer the energy to run the pumps. Main cargo control station, accommodation service spaces. They are all positioned aft of cargo tanks, slop tanks, etc. because they are generally the part of accommodation. Okay, it's like cargo control room. And they are arranged in such a way that a single failure of a deck or bulkhead shall not permit entry of gas fumes from cargo tanks into main cargo control station. That means this is the separation, like, okay, this side, see, on this side of my hand is a cargo space. There is maybe something, but there is more than one bulkhead. The single failure of a deck or bulkhead shall not permit entry of fume. That means there is one bulkhead here, one more bulkhead is there, so that between the any one failure, you shall not get the gas. Means what we are saying is the cargo vapors shall not enter this control station areas. So we always assume that things can go wrong. There can be explosion and one deck has lost integrity or a bulkhead has lost integrity. Still, people should be safe because gas fumes don't reach their main control station, so there will be no fire. Because main cargo control station, there are sources of ignition in many ways. Combination carriers. Combination carrier means what? The tanks which are there for oil. They are shaped in different manner and you can also use it to load bulk cargoes. So in that case, if you're going to load bulk cargoes, you need an opening, no? So you will hatch. So this is where it happens. Hatches, tank cleaning openings to slop tanks shall be permitted on the open deck and shall be fitted with closing arrangements. Obviously, there has to be a closing arrangement for all. And you don't see combination carriers because it was a commercial failure. That sort of a business didn't materialize actually. They were there, they did some businesses, but the idea was one route you carry over, and on the return passage you are carrying oil. So something like that idea didn't work well. Now next one, 5.1.6. Means shall be provided to keep deck spills away from accommodation and service areas. Now deck spill means it is on deck. So you find some sort of, when pictures you will find some sort of like this sort of a shape of steel plates welded. So that anything is there, it will not reach, because what happened, tankers generally have trim when they are discharging. Suppose there is oil spill here. So oil will start flowing behind. No? So that is where you have got a diverters. They divert it away instead of allowing it to come back to the accommodation spaces. 5.2.1 is, in simple words, openings in accommodation spaces, service spaces, etc. shall not face the cargo area. So in the front bulkhead of the accommodation, you shall not find any opening. So it will be on the side, from sides you go, so directly nothing will come. Now, in addition to the bridge operation, means watertight doors are operated from bridge. Watertight doors shall be capable of being manually closed from outside the main pump room entrance. So outside main pump, you have to give one more control outside the main pump room entrance. That means bridge you can operate from, as well as one more location is given from where you can operate it. And a watertight door shall always be kept closed one way or the other. Otherwise, what is the purpose? Only when you need to go across, then you open it. But it's not common. If you have got pipe tunnel or something like that, then only you will find this watertight door. Otherwise, you will not find it. Approved gas tight lighting. It is logical. It has to be gas tight. Approval is required. Is there in cargo pump rooms between the decks, and actually on all over the ship the lights are gas tight. Cargo tank venting. It shall look different than the general air pipes on the ship. Means they should not be mistaken that ये क्या है और ये क्या है. They will be entirely distinct from air pipes of the other compartments of the ship. So you know immediately, yes, this is cargo tank venting arrangement. 35 में अटके सब लोग. Okay. Then venting arrangement in each cargo tank can be independent. Many ships will have, or it may be in the groups, or combined with others, or it may be incorporated into inert gas piping, possible. But whatever is there on your ship, you have to know it. Next one. Here what it is saying is, when the arrangements are combined, they are not independent, there will be some means provided to isolate each tank. Means you close the valve, tank gets isolated. So separation arrangement must be there. Where stop valves are fitted, they shall have locking arrangement. Where stop valves are there, they are locked, means there are special keys and on, and under control of responsible officer. As well as from a distance you will see it whether it's open or closed. You don't have to go there searching, अरे खुला है बंद है. No, from a distance you will say yes, that's open, this is closed. And this locking arrangement is there so that accidentally people shall not open it. Now, no matter what happens. Ships are large, there are only 22 persons. Out of that, probably half guys have got nothing to do with this system. Other half has to know it thoroughly, but there can be confusion, and I may go and open the wrong one because there are a large number of valves, large number. That is why we use the color coding and other system to identify it quickly. Like we say, like here, locking arrangement, then visual identification. These are all requirements because of these confusions. We don't realize it, we just open the valve. If loading, ballasting, discharging cargo tank group which is isolated from common venting, then overpressure and underpressure protection arrangement shall be there. Means in any case, any ventilation system which is designed for cargo will have overpressure and underpressure protection. That means what happens is you are using IG. See, you don't allow atmospheric air to go in the tank. You use IG. Now there is a large amount of liquid inside and temperatures are liable to change. In that case, everything is sealed up like pressure cooker. Somewhere there will be overpressure. In that case, there should be some protection against overpressure. Or it may happen when you loaded oil, it was hot. And now you have come to colder place, so there is a vacuum created. Why? Because the oil has shrunk. Then there will be under pressure. So this protection is, the tanks are protected from both overpressure and under pressure. Alarms are there, visual indicators are there, and a decision has to be taken. Like if you're going to colder climate, what you do is you run IG plant for shorter periods and you ensure that everything is under. See again, tank is always over pressure. Okay, tank is never ever at the same level of atmospheric pressure. It is always over pressure, but there is a limit. You will say, I can put 10% extra pressure, not 50%. Because why it's always over pressure? So that no matter what happens, if leakage happens, still the inert gas will leak. Oxygen will never go inside. Like engine room is also always under pressure. Always positive pressure is there. Now this draining part, 5.3.2.4. Okay, venting arrangement. Why draining part? Because those vapors which are going out, if there is a cooler arrangement, they may turn back to liquid. Now that can become dangerous if you have got a liquid which can catch fire located in places. So there is a draining arrangement which will, in case that sort of a situation happens, it drains back in the tank under all the normal conditions of trim and list of the ship. Venting system to prevent passage of flame. That is what, there are the wire meshes. You know, something, the Davis safety lamp. I don't know if you remember miner's lamp. That is where the principle comes. You put it through the net and other side, even if there is flame, it will not go inside. This is important part. When it has to discharge the vapor mixture, you discharge only under this type of velocity, 30 meters per second or more. Then it will not catch fire. Means it will sort of shoot out. Instead of, if you release it slowly, there is a risk it might get ignited. Why? Because it will have time. Here you don't allow time only. Straight out. Bhag gaya. Now, then you are going to release it somewhere. Now this is, we are discussing only about the pressure and release. Where the other end, which is open, is placed. Now, not less than 6 meters above the cargo tank deck. Means it is like almost on second floor of a building. That sort of height it will be released. It will not be close by to accommodation like 4 meters from the gangway or 10 meters from the nearest air intake, because it should not happen. यहाँ से release हो गया and it is going in this. So that is why it is isolated. That is the idea. If you can remember this, especially 6 meters, good. 4 meters, 10 meters, if you add, that is good masala. Those are what testers. Pump room area, this is the biggest or the highest capacity known in merchant navy. 20 times per hour air change, 20 times. Okay, and the it is not taken, the inlet or outlet is not in a place where it is in a safe place, so it will not allow any vapors to go in. But 20 times per hour, that's the highest. Otherwise, you have got on Ro-Ro ships 12 times and all, 10 times, 8 times, 6 times is the minimum. But 20 times is really high. And in spite of this, just cover up this also. It's a non-sparkling time, which is very natural. But you know these words make difference in your marks. Non-sparkling type, okay, very good. It sounds good. Anyway, in spite of having this sort of arrangement, not only that, moment you switch on light, even the pump starts, ventilation starts. We still get people dying in pump rooms. Still. No logic, it has failed me completely. You have got hydrocarbon detector, which is telling you, yes, there is a gas inside. Everything is there. Still people try to become hero. But remember, here it is question of 10 minutes time. You should have safety in any way, because this capacity is really very, very high. Inert gas systems over 20,000 tons deadweight is compulsory. Plus, if your tanker has got crude oil washing system, it is compulsory. So your ship may be less than 20,000 tons, but you have crude oil washing, so it is compulsory. Double hull spaces. Double hull spaces shall be fitted with connections to supply inert gas. The reason being, the tankers are big size ships and they're liable to develop some cracks over the years. If fuel oil leaks in double hull space, which is meant for clean ballast, you can have a fire or explosion in so-called safe place. That is the reason there is a connection given to supply inert gas in those tanks also. So what you are trying to do is you are trying to make whole ship inert. Now, if it is not used, the valves, if they are not open, close and all regularly, they get jammed up. So I don't think it happens today on a good company ship, because they will be programmed to test all this on regular basis. Definitely every 3 months you will be testing these systems. Where hull spaces are connected to permanently fitted inert gas distributions, it means like this what we are talking. Means shall be provided to prevent hydrocarbon gases from cargo tanks entering double hull space through the system. Now what happens is, I told you why we need it if there are cracks developing or any oil leaks. Now you don't want, by mistake, by a reverse flow, because cargo tanks are always under pressure. You don't want the same inert gas system is connected, but my cargo tank got pressurized and it released the vapors plus inert gas, both mixture, in a reverse manner because it was under pressure, and it entered my double hull space. That means place was safe. I connected pipeline to provide inert gas, but there was a leakage and the gas went in along with vapor. Now that is dangerous, because inert gas was so many percent, flammable vapors percentage is so much, and then it finds oxygen. Then it becomes explosive. This is the reason. So even the system has to be protected that by accident it should not go. That means what? In simple words, inert gas which is supplied to the tank must have arrangement. The cargo tanks, I'm talking, those cargo tanks must have those blockage arrangement for reverse, non-return valves. So by accident also it will not have a reverse flow. I think enough for the day. Okay? Because this one, once we start, then we should go continuously. Is it okay or not okay? Yes, sir. कोई बोला नहीं अभी तक. Munib, okay, not okay? देखा सब ये has also learn the trick. Go on other channel. Log in and use others. Huh? Shaunak, oh, what good. Now you are generally the first guy to tell me that. Sir, आज बहुत हो गया. So now you were listening at least. Patania, are you there? Kshitij, are you there? Show me on the group chat. Dekha, everybody is learning the trick. Log in and disappear. Yeah. Like the one. Yeah, but Ritik, I did not ask you. I am asking like Patania, Kshitij. Correct. Few guys are there, obviously. You are the sincere guys, but these guys are missing. Phone chalu karke, they are having fun. Correct. Kshitij, are you there? Munib. See now what is happening. Patania is missing. Uddesha, I know because you asked a question. You are there. Kshitij Chopra is missing. You know, actually, the e-learning part, what you have to understand is, it is more responsible part. Why? First thing is, it is for matured crowd. What methods you use since you were in school? You needed more interaction, more closeness with the teachers. School teachers knew your name. They knew your parents. They knew your brothers, sisters, everybody. No, because as a child, you need to grow along with that. There is like a teacher is called the third parent. Very nice. I probably do not belong to the teacher qualification because once you are in colleges, you are 18 plus. It is different. I deliver my lecture. You have to understand. If anything is there, you have to ask me. But take a typical Mumbai college. You have got about 150 students in a class. 100 plus. Professors come, deliver the lecture, they take even their attendance is taken like randomly. He will just read out some numbers and mark, others everybody is present. But there is no interaction. You will know professor's name, but professor need not know you at all. And that is how you learn, because by that time you have got maturity to learn. So the learning process and teaching process are isolated completely in colleges. Now it is the same challenge, and this is a good thing actually for you all, because after this you should be on your own, not getting mixed up like this. Nobody is going to hold your finger and do something. You have to learn on own. And difficulty because I become mentor. I don't become your teacher exactly. Like when you are in school, you really can't challenge teachers. Why? Because You don't know things and teachers know more. Colleges, you may be knowing more than the teacher, possible. And so you start, hitting that equality. So when you are like 21, 22, you are supposed to be my equal anyway, except barring the experience. Knowledge-wise, we are supposed to be equal. This is what. What happens, Shauna? हाँ, मेरे को क्या मालूम? I am not. अरे, you have to contact proper channels, no? You will go to your coordinator and put your difficulty, whatever it is, and he will take forward from there, no? You got it, Shaunak? But then why are you taking tension? मैं कैसे confirm करेगा? I am not a coordinator for any division anyway in any class. They know it because what happens is he is handling it. He knows what is happening. Why should I go and ask क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है? और कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है क्या? हाँ? What experience? My teaching experience with only about 5 years. So what I know other things, not this one, and those ones I can teach you on this. Okay. Okay, so we will call it a day. Make sure you finish your assignments and load them. Afterwards, don't tell me ye hua, wo hua. Okay? And if anything goes wrong anywhere and really you have a genuine problem, you load it and send me a separate email telling me that. Now don't send me messages on WhatsApp. This very phone is ringing as if it is what the ting, 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 ting goes on. And especially with this assignment, email boxes are flooded. Anytime I switch on, because somehow every subject lands up in the same email box. We are sharing mail. Okay? So in case there is any problem, let me know, but separately by email. Okay? So we call it a day.